They found a new way to tax millions of Americans, if not all Americans, and you guys are not going to like where this is going. All because of the inevitable transition to electric vehicles, guys.
Drivers would essentially be responsible for monitoring their own mileage and then paying a few cents per each one of those miles. As more and more people are leaving gas cars behind and working with electric, as you mentioned, that gas tax will be antiquated. And so what the big question is, how will the state manage this change? According to AAA, Washington State has the highest gas prices in the country.
I had to fill it up last week, and, it was $80.
Patrick Barta says he splits his time between Kittitas County and King County. It's more than 100 miles getting back and forth, and in his 2004 truck, that gets pricey. But Barta says his family just went electric.
So far, it's been perfect.
And so much cheaper. With more and more people like Barta leaving behind the pumps for electric options, some Washington state lawmakers want a new money-making source. Historically, gas taxes have helped with road infrastructure in the state. The hope now is to charge you for every mile you drive. Tuesday, transportation officials looked at data for how that could work. More than 1,000 Washingtonians are already taking part in a road usage charge simulation where they report their driving habits. According to the data, 70% of the people involved said they were satisfied with the road usage charge process. However, it does not come without issues. Data from the report I obtained shows drivers have privacy and location sharing concerns, as well as concerns trusting people to be honest with their driving habits.
Do they count the miles when you're just moving your car within your own private property? I mean, let's just say you need to turn your car around or something, right? Is that going to cost you money? I swear, man, the disconnect between those at the bottom and the lawmakers is just freaking out of this world. I mean, they're going to talk that electric will save so much money, but at the same time, they can't let go of the gas taxes. It'd be pretty nice to know just how much money these people have in their bank accounts that they can just kind of up and say, Americans should be charged for every mile they drive. And hey, that's a good question. If a lawmaker proposes anything that comes out of the wallets of hardworking Americans, shouldn't citizens be able to relate that to the official? Because if their bank accounts reveal that they were also hardly getting by, then it would be easier to kind of make a case for this kind of stuff, right? Do you think transparency like this should be observed within our government? Comment a quick yes or no on that question. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash the like button for the video and also subscribe to the channel. Turn on all notifications so that you're updated on things like this that, quite frankly, you're just not going to see on mainstream media. I appreciate the love, folks.
Think it only costs a couple $100 or so to replace the battery pack in a Tesla Model 3? You might want to think again. Is it in the thousands? Even more? Keep watching to find out the true price.
I want to know. I want to know.
As the dust of the all-electric innovation storm settles, the real cost of buying, driving, and maintaining an EV, or electric vehicle, becomes clearer. It's tricky to determine the actual cost of driving an EV, at least when compared to figuring out the cost of driving conventional gas cars. This ambiguity is largely due to the fact that EVs are more expensive than gas cars, they depreciate faster, and the cost of electricity varies from state to state. EV car makers use cash upfront tactics to promote the cost of an EV, but usually they are financed, making the buy much heftier. For example, Tesla lists the cost of an entry-level Model 3 at $47,000, but the average transaction peaks at about $60,000, according to CNET. However, there are hidden costs. For example, replacing the battery of a Tesla Model 3 costs 1/3 of the total price of the car in 2022, as reported by Recurrent.
So getting back on topic here, they talked about how cheap it is to drive electric and how amazing it is and all that stuff. But I guess the experience is subjective, as not everybody's having a good time with the Energizer Bunny cars, right? You see, if you drive a car, you probably expect it to perform under different weather conditions, right? Sun, snow, rain. These are all weather conditions that cars normally run in, and more times than not, it should be able to drive in them with no problem. That wasn't the case for one Scottish couple who found out that their Tesla, which they drove under heavy rain, suddenly wouldn't start. Now again, this was heavy rain, guys. It wasn't a flood or anything like that, just a downpour. So what happened? So as it turns out, this heavy rain that we're talking about here, it was so heavy that it actually damaged their battery. Can you believe that? The couple said that they didn't even hit any big puddles or anything like that. And you know, while the owner was told that it wasn't his fault, because clearly it wasn't, a Tesla manager came back to him and said that this wasn't going to be covered under their warranty and that they had to pay. Let me repeat that, guys. They had to pay for a replacement battery. Now, converted to dollars, they were asked for, get this, guys, around $33,000 for a replacement battery for their car. That's like another brand new car right there, huh? Talk about convenience. Now, I'm not thrashing EVs, okay? I'm just giving you guys some real world updates and real life experiences from real people. Given that, are you interested in getting one of these cars or trucks? And then for mileage taxes in exchange for gas taxes? Man, it's unbelievable what these guys can come up with sometimes. Which brings me to something that the IRS has been talking about for years now, taxing cryptocurrency. You know, hearing about all these taxes, it's no wonder that we're able to fund millions of people across the world, huh? If those people didn't include the citizens of the United States, that is, but I digress. Let's focus on crypto taxes, shall we? The IRS says that there are a couple of mistakes and misconceptions about crypto and taxation.
There are 3 basic mistakes that they make. One being,
just because you didn't cash out does not mean you don't have a gain.
second, that
Just because you didn't get a statement or the IRS didn't get a statement doesn't mean you didn't have a taxable gain.
and third, just because you have gross proceeds, whether it's a sale or a conversion, you still have some deductible expenses.
But you figure out what your gross proceeds were, and then you deduct from that. Typically, there's a commission when you transfer or buy or sell. You can deduct that, and you can also deduct the basis.
Many people think I didn't get cash in my bank account, so I don't have a taxable transaction. Steeper says that is totally incorrect.
If you are having transactions where you're trading or converting currency from one to another, and if you have a gain, that's a taxable gain. If you have a loss, it might be able to be offset against another gain.
Besides this, the IRS is looking to require crypto service providers to get your data to provide to them. And I'm talking about your names, social security numbers, and basically anything that they can get their hands on in order to do some financial surveillance, okay? Because this would lead to, according to them, less tax evasion and, of course, more tax revenue, which again opens up the topic of business, meaning PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all these different third-party apps having to report users' information for making over $600 because of a piece of a pie that belongs to the IRS. Now, it doesn't matter if the sale came from a garage sale or your Facebook marketplace. Income is income if we go by the rules that the IRS wants to implement on us. A survey, though, it shows that 79% of Americans feel as if it's unreasonable for banks to share our personal financial information with the government, while 83% said that the government is going to need a warrant in order to do that. But what do you guys think about all this? Doesn't it just look like they're looking to get our money in any way that they can? I'm not saying that we should avoid taxes, all right? That's not the point here. But to gather information without our consent, I guess that's a gray area. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And before I go, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. Thanks for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Keep safe, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one.